Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and chances are you probably know one of the largest channels on YouTube, Mr. Beast, 300 plus million subscribers, massive channel, and you probably also know some of the people that appear on Mr. Beast's channel aside from Mr. Beast. One of them being Ava Chris Tyson, who is by far one of the most popular online, but also becoming one of the most controversial online creators. Now, obviously, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room in this situation. Ava is a trans woman, and months ago when, looking into Ava Tyson and the, other creators that have actually made videos on her, people like SunnyV2, for instance. Now, in the last few days over the weekend, it came out with allegations that Chris Tyson was talking inappropriately to a minor and basically making inappropriate jokes with people that were, I believe, 13, 14 at the time. Now, obviously, as an adult, you probably shouldn't be speaking, in any form of candid way like that with a minor. But these are things that I want to seriously look into because these are very life-ruining level of allegations, and obviously I think everyone should take serious care into reporting and looking into this kind of stuff. So I decided to actually reach out to some of the people affected. But the other thing I've noticed on the internet, which I'll mention for fair sake, is because of the trans identity I mentioned at the beginning, this has become a culture war talking point, and you'll find discourse like, this person's Chris Tyson setting the entire clock back like 200 years or whatever. And if your brain is set there, then I think it's best to refocus and look at these individuals as individuals, okay? You can find tons of bad people in every community. That said, there are a few things that I find inexcusable from a personal level, and it's beyond more than just what people are talking about, so let's actually dive in. Now, in this situation, I like to always delve deep into these situations and really try to come to the truth of the matter. And oftentimes, the truth is very nuanced. Now, this actual thing really sparked into the mainstream, where now there's 100,000 plus tweets that exist now. This whole story has become a trending situation on the internet. And one of the actual, spearheads into this was a YouTuber known as Prism42. Now, Prism42 made a 59-minute, 18-second long video going over the, Ava Tyson story, and they actually jumped into showing some actual, screenshots that were pretty wild when initially anybody read, okay? So, in the video that Prism42 had made, they were providing screenshots from Twitter, or X, I guess, and Discord as evidence in this situation. So I decided to look at some of the messages that were showcased, and for instance, in this screenshot, it appeared that this person right here was the actual, victim in question, all right? Alleged victim. All right, this is Lava, all right? I'm just going to use that name for, context purposes. So the messages in question were these, okay? For instance, one of them was from Lava. Check again, CCASYT. Chris posts, I posted some fire nudes for you, please, no share. So yeah, immediately people looked at some of those messages and were like, whoa, that's sketchy. Ava over here, not $5, pathetic, JK, wait till my Twitch revenue comes in. So initially when I was seeing this, a lot of the assumptions that this might have been DMs weren't really DMs. Those were obviously public interactions between people. And obviously when it comes to minors and adults on the internet, there should be a pretty hard gap in between these individuals. Now I decided, in good journalistic integrity, to reach out to this individual, Lava. Turns out they actually reached out to me first. I actually jumped into a call with them, talked about the situation, and they basically told me all the context right here. For instance, there is a rumor about a camping trip where I guess, they met up with the Mr. Beast individuals as a minor. And they had said, my family goes to North Carolina every year for vacation. We stay in a very nice camper at a nice campground. It happens to be 2 hours away from the Mr. Beast studio. And I'd been helping with some Beast gaming videos remotely at the time, instead of doing it remotely, okay? My parents drove me to the studio and met the entire crew. They knew where I was and met the crew before leaving. I helped record some videos and then my parents picked me up and left. This is where the picture is from when my face is blurred, and it was taken at the studio with multiple people there. So anyways, a tweet about a hentai addiction, okay? I don't think I have to explain my audience what hentai is, but I'm sure you can figure that out. At the time, Ava was a very public anime fan. I personally am not. Me too, buddy. The friend group we had just randomly started saying he had a hentai addiction because it was funny and good inside joke. I was never shown any hentai, and there was never an attempt to show me it. Okay, fine. The Coming for America picture was sent to the group chat I was in, and not to me personally. It's just a funny picture. I was never sent anything explicit or asked to send anything explicit, vice versa. I'm not a victim of grooming, and if I was, I would have already come forward. I'm on the internet way more than an average person, and have seen multiple instances of people actually getting groomed. I'm not one of them. Please stop using my name to attack someone. There are real victims of SA and grooming that deserve to have their voices heard. Now, at this moment in time, to be honest with you, I really can't just make somebody a victim if they keep claiming that they are not. And this is one of those things where obviously people had basically started to look at this whole controversial situation and wonder, is this realistically, just an actual really messed up situation? Or is this a possible politicized situation where because of what, Ava Tyson's, personal characteristics are, maybe it's used as a political topic point to make an entire group of people look like, groomers and whatnot, okay? But this is where a similar situation to, Keffels, who I looked at about a month and a half ago. And in that situation, it was really a similar thing where I really had to basically tell the audience, I'm just looking at one bad person, okay? I'm not trying to paint an entire community of people as bad. A lot of people self-report themselves when they don't look at a situation like this pretty critically. Now, that being said, I wanted to provide everything for context here. This also said, if you're in a group chat that intermixes adults with people under the age of 18, minors in this case, you probably shouldn't be deploying images that, state coming for America. That word should never even be uttered. The other thing is, when you got situations like hentai being mentioned as an adult, which you are in this situation, you should shut that down. This kind of stuff is never the fault of a minor, but as an adult, you absolutely have to fucking sanitize your jokes, no matter how edgy you think your group is, especially when you got people under the age of 18. It's just a terrible look. It's disgusting, and there really isn't any way you can spin it to somehow soften the blow. There's a lot of things that I've discovered in this entire situation where it really comes across as Ava Tyson actually being not a great person, okay? So let's get into things that we can actually somewhat reasonably confirm through the power of the internet, Wayback Archives, and so on and so forth. Now, according to, according to Lava, who had actually told me that their interaction with this individual, Prism, was not something that was entirely discussed properly. They actually believed that they were more so applying for a job, from what I understand, versus actually discussing these entire situations. Which, again, if you're an interviewer or you're a journalist and you're not actually being upfront and honest about why you want to interact with the subject in the first place, that's already a big issue right there. So here's the thing, if you want to actually go and, drop some hardcore evidence on people, you probably want to do it in a realistic fashion. Honestly, this is one of those situations where people end up being sued for in a court because of, again, mishandled evidence and mishandled allegations like this. Now, of course, in this situation, I use allegations very heavily because, again, I don't really believe any of these messages on Discord or Snapchat or really anything unless I can actually refresh pages. But, we're already getting too deep into the weeds right now. Let me actually pull you into the next bit of allegations that have popped up about Ava. Now, because of these Twitter messages, alright, immediately I decided, sure, let me go check up, her actual Twitter account. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's completely wiped, which is obviously never a good sign, okay? So the next bit of information that came out was another individual, a different individual that was 14 years of age, came out and showcased a Snapchat conversation with them and Chris Tyson. So immediately looking into this situation, you can see that Ava, Chris Tyson over here, they actually have a video recording showing an actual Snapchat account. So of course, as you open this video up and you actually zoom in, you can see Tyson, well, let me actually get this is actually a little bit blurry. So Tyson Nos YT, okay? 202,000 followers, vlogger, and so on and so forth. They're there to showcase actual messages, for instance. Been stepped up, lol. Thanks, Dad, LOL. Keep it a secret, though, LOL. What exactly is a secret? Let me read this. Hey, I don't know if you heard about my bathwater prank and how crazy it's gone, but my stock is actually sold out at the moment. I believe this is in reference to, I think it's Belle Delphine, or, you know, one of the gamer girls' bathwater stuff right over there. You know, things that you probably shouldn't be discussing with somebody who is under the age of 18. At least I would think. Now, of course, being that this is, again, a video, even if it is a video, I can't exactly 100% verify these messages, right? This is, again, allegation stuff. But it's pretty serious, okay? You know, if people are willing to talk about people like Cody Co, Dr. Disrespect, then these are things that, again, we all have to cover, especially when we're dealing with one of the largest channels on YouTube. So, again, looking at some of these messages, you got emojis, of course, Dad. This is the best Snapchat I've ever seen. So then there were some messages over here where they were explicitly speaking to a group of people, including, allegedly, one minor.
I know, dude, I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have with another man while she comments about how my can never satisfy her.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just gonna cut.
Comment inside.
So emojis, of course, people are willing to talk about it. They're actually sold. Out at the moment. I believe this is in reference to, I think it's Belle Delphine, or, you know, one of the gamer girls' bathwater stuff right over there. You know, things that you probably shouldn't be discussing with somebody who is under the age of 18. At least I would think. Now, of course, being that this is, again, a video, even if it is a video, I can't exactly 100% verify these messages, right? This is, again, allegation stuff. But it's pretty serious, okay? You know, if people are willing to talk about people like Cody Co, Dr. Disrespect, then these are things that, again, we all have to cover, especially when we're dealing with one of the largest channels on YouTube. So, again, looking at some of these messages, you got emojis, of course, Dad. This is the best Snapchat I've ever seen. So then there were some messages over here where they were explicitly speaking to a group of people, including, allegedly, one minor.
I know, dude, I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have with another man while she comments about how my can never satisfy her.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just gonna cut that right short, okay? You already
watch her eat it.
Over here where they were explicitly speaking to a group of people, including, allegedly, one minor.
I know, dude, I would inside of that egg and then watch her eat it, and then watch her have with another man while she comments about how my can never satisfy her.
Whoa! Okay, I'm just gonna cut that right short, okay? You already had me on come inside people, alright? That's not happening in my book. It's a little ham.
I hope he gets cancer in the mouth.
Okay. I gotta say, that is one of the not good places.
I hope he goes his entire life not smoking a single cigarette, and then when he gets 80, he just gets with some dude with some cancer. He shoves it in his mouth and gets mouth cancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if there's one minor in there, probably not a good thing to be saying. And of course, they started to also throw up archives of the original screenshot postings over here. For instance, if you look inside, this is an archive link right here by an account known as Young No Name. Now again, in this scenario, for instance, I wanted to see, hey, is this actually valid? Is this somebody's real actual account? And so I decided to look up Wayback Machine archives of this possible Snapchat account. So it turns out that account actually exists right here. It's an Ava Chris Tyson account, actually with 211,000 subscribers. And yes, you can see that this is the original archived thing. Tyson Nos YT. So immediately, where is this account now? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's deleted. So according to Snapchat as of now, that account doesn't seem to exist. Now, to me, anytime an account gets deleted like that, especially so quickly after it's been brought into a spotlight, is not something that I personally find, really reassuring, so to speak. That also being said, when it comes to, again, any form of messages like this, especially when things appear to be stories that are publicly posted that are intermixed between what appears to be DMs, which is kind of how I'm understanding Snapchat. I'm not exactly perfect at it. I don't use Snap all that much. And by not all that much, I mean if at all. But the thing about it is, obviously, I haven't refreshed these messages. I don't have them viewed on my device. So everything that I see on the internet, I take with a complete grain of salt in this situation. I think a lot of the interactions in that Discord conversation, if there was a minor present, and that was actually Chris and whatnot, these are not okay conversations or jokes to be making when a minor is present, period, right? So anyways, when I look at messages from all these people, I actually decided to reach out to the individuals in question the best that I can, and it really seems like whatever is actually present really isn't there. Now you might be wondering, okay Muda, that's really what it is, then what's next? Well, what really comes next at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is the darker side. Now, just because these two big things are not exactly substantiated enough for me to make a video on, what I'm about to show you is actually really disgusting, again, from my perspective. Now, to understand this next section, you have to understand an artist known as Shadman, okay? Now, Shadman is a former YouTuber and artist known for creating Rule 34 art, and again, disgusting art, and most importantly, art that some would consider, lowly, for instance, right? Art that depicts younger-looking individuals, okay? Individuals that some would classify would resemble those under the age of 18. Now, this alone is not necessarily something that is completely illegal. In fact, the legality of it is different depending on where you live. I personally don't care much for this art style and find it reprehensible in my personal opinion, but where it gets really, really scary is when you actually come across an individual who has made actual depictions of, depictions of actual minors.
Nại vẽ. Ok, cũng không có gì đặc biệt cả. Tôi xem nào. Cái này là còn mua được cái gì? À, cái này là mua tinh hồn cho băng bu đúng không? Mấy cái này có giới hạn mua này. Chắc là chờ hết tháng mua cái này thôi công nhỉ? Tôi còn chưa mua cái 40 này công ạ. Nghèo quá. Mấy cái này cũng ngon này các bác nhỉ. Mấy cái này cũng ngon nếu mà có điều kiện. Chính ra cái này mà anh em cứ mỗi một phiên bản mà cũng đầu tư là một cái cúp này là cũng ngon này. Nhưng mà tính ra là khoảng 100.000 này, 200 là 300 là 600.000. 600.000 cộng thêm thẻ tháng Pastor Pass, tức là mỗi một phiên bản anh em sẽ đầu tư khoảng 1 triệu à? À, đúng không? 1 triệu để mà chúng ta có 10 roll, 15 roll, đúng không? Đúng chưa? 10 roll limited, 15 roll limited và 10 roll banner thường. Cũng ghê đấy các bạn. Anh này vẫn chưa có sói à? Chắc là phải chờ nhảy 300 rồi công ơi. Không có cơ hội rồi. Hôm trước vừa nổ ra ấy công ạ. Thật sự anh em trước vừa nổ ra cái chấn của Gray. Gửi Agron qua chấm than fanpage anh em nhá. Gửi Agron qua chấm than fanpage nhá. Chán thật đấy. Mà thôi các bạn, mình đã không có duyên với nhau rồi, đúng không? Chỉ có làm mọi cách cũng không bao giờ có duyên với nhau được. Hoàn thành ủy thác dễ trong sự kiện chú ý an toàn. Ok. À, thế được 2 roll nữa này. Cái này là đúng không? Cái này là bùi như tự tạo đúng không? Ồ, Battle Pass trong này chỉ có level 50 thôi công ạ. Nó không khác như game khác, nó có level đến 60, 70 để mà tặng cái xác di vật với cả Danny đúng không? Skip hết roll Miyabi bằng vua. Nhưng mà Miyabi bao giờ nó ra không? Các bác, Miyabi biết bao giờ nó ra? Chắc là sau này tôi sẽ chơi Elen Sokaku với cả con Lucy anh em ạ. Còn Yuan của tôi sẽ chơi với cả Nicotine với cả Anbi vậy. Dự định là như vậy. Em chờ tí. Có khi năm sau mới ra Miyabi. Gray vứt xó à? Gray. Cơ bản là giờ Gray nó cũng có chấn không ạ? Chả biết làm gì với bây giờ. Hôm trước với Andromeda thường ra chấn Gray ạ. Chẳng lẽ chơi Gray? Thực ra là Gray thì nếu như mà chơi thì chắc là sau này chơi với ai giờ không? Gray Piper với cả Lucy chơi dị thường nổ ác chiến lắm anh ơi. Ủa sao bảo là chơi Gray là phải có Rina? Không cần Rina. Zen à? Tôi nghĩ không cần Zen đâu anh em nhỉ. Trừ khi con Zen nó giảm kháng các kiểu hệ lôi ấy, thì tôi nghĩ mới cần thôi. 10:52 vẫn chưa có thông tin gì. Như vậy mình có khoảng 130 roll anh em nhé. 130 roll. Hôm nay chắc là level 45 thôi, trong mấy farm di vật rồi. Tôi áp xong nốt cho Jujuan lên là xong. Thông báo gì đây? Thông báo tối ưu hóa vấn đề à? Hoạt động gì? Thẳng như dây đàn. 12 giờ tức là 11 giờ anh em ạ. Ok. Banner này sẽ có nicotine với cả Ben. Thực ra Ben ở thời điểm này tôi đang thấy nó không có nhiều tác dụng lắm anh em ạ. Biết trong tương lai liệu cái bọn thủ vệ nó có tác dụng nhiều không? Ê, tôi đang chưa biết là cái vũ khí của Jujuan giờ tăng cái gì không ạ? Chưa biết luôn đấy. Điểm danh nhận 10 bang bu này. Ui, bên này nhiều sự kiện ghê không nhỉ? Thề. Bên này nhiều sự kiện vãi luôn đấy. Chẳng bù mấy cái tựa game khác. Hay là do đoạn đầu thế? Hay do đoạn đầu thế nhỉ? Chứ đoạn này nhiều sự kiện điên ạ. Cấp Internote này, level 442 pin nữa này. Minh Thống lên kèo lệch 100k nha anh trai. Ô, Thống à? Ê, lâu lắm mới thấy thằng em. Ngon ngon. Các ông ơi, gửi kèo qua chấm than fanpage anh em nhá. Đây rồi. Cơ hội để làm giàu. À quên nhầm. Cơ hội để đưa anh em về bờ đây rồi. Có cơm rồi à? 200 like rồi đúng không? Rồi, anh em chờ tí mình GA phát nhé. Cơ hội để đưa anh em về bờ đây rồi. Hay lắm Thống ạ. Hôm nay chúng ta có 5 thẻ tháng anh em ạ của tôi. Tức là đây sẽ là 243. Cảm ơn Krazik nhá. Em 160 roll banner thường. Cô Lê C1 cộng chấn Rina. Giờ kiếm đâu ra anh sói đây? Có reroll thế không ạ? Chứ giờ đảo đâu ra? Thật. Sói khó lấy lắm công ạ. Anh em gõ cho tôi chấm than. Cho xin cái 500 like được không? Cho xin cái 500 like là thẻ tháng đầu tiên của chúng ta trong buổi ngày hôm nay nào. Mấy ông hội viên ơi, tôi xin mấy ông đấy. Tôi xin mấy ông đấy. Mấy ông bú cho tôi cái thẻ tháng phát mẹ chứ tôi mang tiếng vãi lìn ạ. Tham lam mà.